have with us today, we have LaSharion, who is the founder of Noir Radiance. Did I pronounce that right?
That is correct.
I've been practicing. I was all like, okay, we're gonna get this. I'm gonna say
Yeah,
this
that's
name right.
okay. That's
So
okay.
Noir
You're fine.
Radiance, which is a beauty product. And we're gonna chat with her all about life and entrepreneurship. And we're going to talk about her business life. So, as you mentioned earlier, because I know the last time we spoke, um, you're currently still working 9 to 5, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And I too am working a 9 to 5, so I totally get it. So, you are preparing to or in the process of retiring,
Correct.
right? Okay. So, tell us a little bit about what I would like to know is, so you're currently working 9 to 5. So we're going to talk about you currently working 9 to 5, and how did the idea of you starting your own business come into play while you're a full-time employee?
Well, let's see. At the beginning, I'm going to go back 5 years or
Okay.
so, or even before then. My daughter and I had talked about this.
Okay.
I've been in the professional field working around attorneys for the past 29 years, and I I came into contact with a lot of the stigma with natural hair. Being in a professional environment, most of the
Mm-hmm.
time it's not accepted, or you get little sly remarks here and there, uh, about your natural hair, so that triggered me to think that. And what my daughter did was, one day she said, no, you know what, Mom, I know you're having a hard time about having natural hair and going to work. So she said, let I want you to embrace that. I want you to continue not to go back to the relaxer. Not that I have anything against the relaxer. I'm not saying that. But she said, look, Mom, you don't have to go back to the relaxer just because of the peer pressure and stigma that you're dealing with at work. So I
Mm,
said, you know what? So I never put a relaxer on her hair, and her hair was so beautiful. And I'm like, and that inspired me to even do it even more so. So I was talking with her and I went natural one time. And then about 2 or 3 years later, I went back to the relaxers. It's like, I can't deal with this. My hair is so coarse, so hard and too thick and taking a lot of time. And which we all
mhm,
know natural hair takes more time. So I eventually said, okay, I can do this. So eight, it's been about 7 years now since I've been natural. So my daughter was like, and we always concocted in the kitchen our own personal products that we were using, and they were working. And my mom and my daughter said, "Mom, why don't we just can this? Why don't we just start selling this, Mom? I think we'll do great. We've been using it because we have used the products for 10 years, in our house, and
okay,
we have tweaked it, we have, enhanced it, we have studied, we have changed the formulations until we perfect it to work exactly the way we want it to. So
mhm,
we work out of my kitchen, uh, and we make sure that every product, everything that is made is naturally organic, 100% pure. We do not order anything if it's not 100% pure. We use no chemicals. We make sure that, because someone asked, you said, well, you may have to uh, contract that out someday. And I'm like, I can't see that right now because I have a control thing that I want to make sure those products have exactly what they should have in it, and I need to put my eyes on it.
mhm,
So we started by just in the kitchen. So after dealing with a lot of peer pressure at work and a lot of stigma, going to the meetings and you get the looks and you're like, okay, is my hair okay or what's wrong? So I went through all that, and eventually, about a year or so, I got used to it, and then they got used to it. So it's kind of like one of those things that went over. No one really talks about it. As you know, through the
mhm,
past 10 years, we have a lot of the community and people have embraced natural hair. You know, the locks, braids. I mean, there was a lot of stigma behind that. So, and
Mhm.
I dealt with that, but it's like, hey, I can help other women that are in corporate America that may be dealing with the same thing that I dealt with, and just to be able to give them that camaraderie for them to even talk about having that place in that space to talk about what they're going through. So that's not only, and that's where are my daughter and I culture curated. We're not influencers. We're culture creators because we want to build a community of women that
Mhm.
can, you know, we can be a network to help one another as we go through the peer pressure. So we talk to other women about natural hair. We talk about our products. We, you know, we share tips, trips, you know, and tips to help
Right.
uh, different women and men as well, and children as well. And it's all for, and it's not just women, it's actually for women of color, because not only we have the hair products, we also have skin products. We have the mango butter, we have the Himalaya salt soak that you can use for inflammation.
Mhm.
Just anything that's natural that a lot of times, you know, being women of color, we may deal with because, you know, our some of our skin is naturally dry. So,
Mhm.
and that goes for your scalp as well. And now we're approaching the winter, and you know your skin even gets more so dry. So,
Right.
yeah. So we have, we're excited because now I have, I'm branching into, when I say women of color, I'm branching into the Latino uh, um, market too, because I have
Okay.
friends that are Latino and they're excited about it, and they're actually using it, the mango butter on their skin, you know, for her son and a couple her mom. And so yeah, it's taking off and I'm excited.
Okay. Well, that sounds super exciting. So, so you working a 9 to 5, and then you were experiencing um, issues with your own natural hair in the workplace. So that's actually what prompted you to say, hey, or your daughter to say, like, no, I want you to wear your natural hair as is, not to use any chemicals or anything. And
Right.
so that is what actually got Noir Radiance to be birthed, I should say, what made
Mm-hmm.
you decide to actually start that business.
Correct.
Okay. So, and because I was gonna ask, like, why did you start? But we pretty much just covered why did you start because of
Yeah.
experiencing those issues in the workplace. And I must say that I experienced the same thing because I work a 9 to 5, but this was a previous employer that I had. I didn't have my hair wasn't locked at the time. So I was just wearing my hair um natural, like in its natural state. Every now and then I may have gotten it flat iron because I used to get it flat iron all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems to me like when I would flat iron my hair was, I feel like my hair was already like on a thinner side, but I think that was more so because I was using chemicals on my hair. So I decided like, okay, no more chemicals. I'm gonna wear my hair natural, which I have been doing that for years prior to me working for this particular employer. Even though they didn't say anything directly to me, we can pick up on the looks. Um, it was just different things. Like no one ever said anything to me. The only time that I would say that they may have complimented me on my hair was when it was flat iron or straight.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, because it was like, oh, your hair is so pretty and blah, blah. And I'm thinking to myself, like, my hair has always been pretty.
Yeah.
Like when I didn't wear it flat iron, but listening to you tell your story, I was like, dang, I was in that same place. But I was wearing my hair natural. I was all like, I don't care if y'all like it or not. This is
Yeah.
this is how I wear my hair. But I totally agree that which I feel it was just completely crazy. And I think it's called the Crown Act that they had to
Yes.
implement that
Yeah.
in order for us to wear our
Right.
hair in its
Which
natural
originally,
state.
yeah, which originally started in Atlanta, Georgia, and
Okay.
they even the Crown Act even branched out to pass a law where you will not be discriminated because the style of your hair,
Mm-hmm.
and that's something that I also did research on. But as you were just saying, a lot of the compliments or even just the looks, a lot of times, for me, I even got you know. Basically comments made as far as I like your hair the other way better. You know, I would hear that. Uh, why did you stop combing your hair? Just and I'm in Texas, so Texas is when I go to the East Coast, like DC, they embrace my friends there. They embrace all the Afrocentric
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the traits
Yeah.
that I have, whether it's my hair. She's and a friend of mine says, told me, she said, LaSharion, she said, I don't understand the people in Texas. Not all the people in Texas, but a
Yeah.
lot of times you run across that. And
Mm-hmm.
I have been the only Black in my office for the past 20 years.
Okay.
So that may have been the reason behind it because they never was probably exposed to it,
Mhm,
and that's all
mhm,
they knew was the straight hair that LaSharion wore, relaxed hair, being straight, ever since
mhm.
I've been there. And then I flipped the script and decided to go natural. But I will not, no matter how bad the pressure is. And plus, I'm retiring from that. So eventually I won't have to even deal with that.
Right, right, exactly, and I just think I hadn't done a lot of research on the Crown Act. I knew it's about us, people of color, being able to wear our hair the natural way,
Mhm.
like wear it in this natural state. But I just felt like I was like, why did we have to get a law passed in order for us to I just thought that was just the craziest thing, and I was all like, "Why would we have to get a law passed for us to wear our hair in its natural state?" But I'm like, it is what it is, but I just felt like that was just crazy to me that it had to get to that point where we had to do something, like that. But, I'm guessing that people are beginning to embrace the way that we wear our hair in its
Yes.
natural state because of this Crown Act, so I am thankful, for that. But, it's just that's just the way our hair texture is. I mean, like, it's beautiful,
Yes.
um, but, so as we had mentioned, because we like covered everything, that's why I'm looking at my questions because I'm like, well, we already talked about this. But in regards to how you got started, it was your daughter, and we spoke a few months before, and I believe you mentioned your daughter is an engineer.
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay.
Yes.
So you guys worked together to come up with the formula or the formulas,
Yes.
I should say, for the products within the Noir Radiance beauty product category. So you have the hair growth serum, you have the body butter, and you have the I
Himalayan
got it written
soap,
down.
the
The
Himalayan soap.
Himalayan, yes, and you have the
Hmm.
Himalayan soap. So which of those was it the hair serum that you guys created first? Was
Yes.
that the
Yes.
I
That
wanna
was
say
the
it was the
original. Yeah, that was the original
okay,
first creation.
okay,
Yes,
so
the
that was the
herser.
original product. So how long did it take you guys to, like, get your formula down? Because I remember you saying you had said that you guys kept tweaking it, changing the formula and everything. So
Right.
this is part of how you got started. So you came up with the formula, you began using it, and then as you used it, you kept tweaking it until you got
Right.
it like you wanted. So how long did that process take?
Well, actually, it took a while because we had to do a lot of research on organic oils. So
Okay.
we had to find out the foundation of each oil, where its origin, and like
Mm.
say for instance, Ghana is one of the popular. I know you. I think I see other women on the call now in other countries, but in Ghana uh, they have a plant there that's for shea butter, and that's
Oh,
one of the
okay.
top areas for shea butter is in Ghana. And we did a lot of research, not just within the US, but other countries as well. So
Mm.
it took a while because we studied, we test, trial and error. We made sure if we did not get that specific result, then we would say, hey, we need to go back to the drawing board. So
Mm.
it took, as far as time, I can't put a time on it,
Okay.
but it took several months to get it to where, and plus we had to try it on our hair for months. So we would
Mhm.
test it for 6 months on our hair just to see the pros and cons. And then not only just my daughter and our hair, I have friends that, supported me and
Mhm.
said, hey, they tested on their hair. And they would
Okay.
come back and they would give me a report and say, you know what, LaSharon, it needs a little bit more consistency. Or
Mhm.
it needs to be, because I wanted it to be a serum. And I believe you ordered some products from me. And
I
a lot of
did.
times I have to tell my customers it's not an oil, it's a serum, because
Mhm.
we're so used to going to the beauty supply house, as you know what I'm talking about, the beauty
Mhm.
supply house.
Yes,
We'll
ma'am.
go
Yes.
there and we're so used to oil, when we pour it out of the bottle, it just flows out. But
Yep.
see, I have the droppers because you only have to put 4 or 5 drops on your fingertips and rub it in and put it in your scalp, and you
Mhm.
could do that. I do mine's like every other day. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I don't use it every day because you don't have to. Everyone's scalp and skin, and that's how God has made us so uniquely. We
Yeah.
have to test, trial and error, which my daddy has always said, trial and
Mhm.
error, test it. And that's why I tell people using section and area. Most people, women start out with their edges because a lot of times we get a lot of pulling from the
Mhm.
braids. So pulling from those braids, your edges get thin. So generally what happens is, with the organic oil, that serum that I use, once
Mhm.
you put it there, you can feel it and it makes your hair soft as well. But
Okay.
the serum is something that we really dedicate most of our time to. And it's not a thick, it's a more of a thick consistency. It's not thin at all.
No, it's not thin, and I never realized what's all involved in, well, let's just say I never created a product, like, from scratch, and I never knew what was all involved in creating hair products. So, and I couldn't even tell you. I'm like, I don't even know how you would even, like, my mind isn't wired that way, okay? So, I wouldn't even know, like, where to begin as far as getting products. So that's what intrigued me as well. It's like, how did you all even come up with creating the hair product? And as you mentioned, you guys had to do a lot of research, and then you had to have other people. So not only did you and your daughter actually use and try the product, you also had friends that tried
Right,
the product as well. And I'm sure all of their hairs, they probably had different issues or different things that they wanted to work on in regards to their hair. So I'm sure you probably got a lot of feedback and different feedback from them in regards to what worked, what didn't work, in order for you to come up with the serum, because you have your regular hair serum, and then you
hmm
have the hair serum for
thin
thinning and
hair.
fine hair,
Uh-huh.
the
Yeah.
thinning and fine hair, because I actually I have the regular one. So this is the one
Yes.
that I
That's
have here.
right. And that's the one that's pretty much is a little thicker, but
Mhm.
like as
I
I
think it's
mentioned, the dropper gives you, It's the main formula, the main carrier of that formula is
Mhm.
castor oil.
Okay.
And I use 100% pure castor oil because
Okay.
most people, when you go to the beauty supply house, they
Mhm.
have the castor oil, but as you can see, it's not that thick. That's
No.
because my products are 100% organic, natural. It's nothing watered down. Let me put it to it. So, I have to challenge now. My main challenge is balancing with the inflation,
Mhm.
balancing the cost. So the cost of things now compared to when I first started, I
Okay.
don't want I can't substitute my product for the cost,
Mhm. Mhm.
because I want the quality to remain the same. I
Right.
don't want, I do not want to create a product and cut back on the quality because I need to cut costs. So
Right.
now I will not touch that formulation for that
Okay.
reason.
Okay. Okay. So you're a full-time employee till you retire and a full-time entrepreneur and a mom. So how has it been, and a wife? So I don't want to forget that. So you're a wife, you're a mom, full-time employee, and entrepreneur. So becoming an entrepreneur and managing all of those other things, how had that been during your entrepreneurial journey? Like you're working full-time, now you decided to start your own business. How did all of that work out for you, I should say, in the beginning, like
Yeah.
getting started?
Well, most from the beginning, a lot of the time was preparation,
Mhm.
because as you know, being an entrepreneur, you not only have to have your personal life, but you also have a business life
Mhm.
and you also have a family life. So you got to make sure you balance those things. So what I've done is when I leave my 9 to 5, I try to leave my 9 to 5 and
Mhm.
I have a calendar. I dedicate so many hours to Noir Radiance a day to where I consistently build on that, build on that business because it would get easier once I retire because
Mhm.
I won't have to worry about the 9 to 5. Because I have to admit, the 9 to 5 gets in the way.
Yes, yes, I completely agree. I'm not as close to you yet to retire. That's what I'm working on,
Yeah.
but it does. It's mentally, I would say for me, it's mentally draining. Um, Working a 9 to 5 and then getting off and me turning my brain off like, okay, you're done with your 9 to 5. Then I found where I had to give myself maybe a few hours for me getting off work before I would start my business, just to give me that break, that mental break to clear my mind, catch up with how my husband's day went, how my kids' day went at work, and maybe do some things around the house. Then I would start on my business. Where
Mhm.
before I would get off work and literally would start on my business. And I was getting myself on burnout when I would do that. So I had to figure out a balance like, okay, you getting off your 9 to 5 and then just staying in the basement working on your business. Like you're not even going upstairs. Like, are you even checking on the house? Or like,
Right.
so I had to tell myself, and I prayed about it as well because I'm like, okay, I know I'm supposed to be doing this business. And I know I need to work this 9 to 5 right now, but I need to get some type of balance in between because right now I'm driving myself crazy getting off work and then starting on my business and I was getting a bit burnt out. And then I'm like, okay, I need to take a break. So I totally get it. And I like your idea where you said you use a calendar. So in your calendar, you set certain days where you're just strictly focused on your business?
Right. What I
Okay.
do is I have in my Google Calendar, you know how you can have it all color coded and real pretty. So
Mhm.
all of my events for Neuro Radiance are yellow. So
Oh,
I know when I see a yellow, that's time that I need to spend on Noir Radiance. So those
okay.
events are listed as things I need to do, and once I check them off for that day, and they're reoccurrence. So once I check them off for that day, I move on to the next day. So that kind of
Okay.
keeps everything balanced.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. I'm about to think about that color coded idea that you just said because I have a calendar, I have a planner where I write out things that I need to do in regards to my business. I know I found for me that I've tried time block, but the time block for me it doesn't work because I feel like if I block off 15 minutes, that 15 minutes come and go for me. And I feel like I didn't do anything in that 15 minutes. I'm like, dang, that 15 minutes went by that fast, or even that
Yeah.
30 minutes. So what helps me is to block out maybe just a day, like where I just say, okay, today I'm working on X, Y, and Z. Tomorrow I'm gonna focus on this. And I really am just now really getting to that point
Mhm.
because I'll start on one thing and then I'll look at something and it'll make me think of something else. And then before you know it, I done stopped doing what I was working on. And now I'm working on something totally
Yeah.
different. And it's like you didn't even finish what you was just working on. So that's
Yeah.
something that I struggled with that I had to work on was that I'm getting things done, but I'm not completing them like I want to because I'm starting and stopping one thing and then I'm jumping over to something else. So it's like, don't look at your phone because if I look at my phone, then I'm gonna start scrolling. And then it's just like, okay, now a whole hour went by and I didn't do what I said I was supposed to be doing. So
Right. Right.
that's something
Yeah.
that I've definitely had to work on that I'm still working that I'm still
Right.
working
And
on.
and and I kind of got an extra edge over technology because I've been in IT for the
Oh, okay.
past 29 years. So I know how to navigate through technology
You a
and
pro.
work my schedule. So that helps me a lot because I know, okay, I can use this tool. And that's one thing I can say from having my job and being in IT for so many years.
Mhm.
The technology base, even what I'm really working on now, is incorporate more AI because AI is the wave of the future. I know a lot of people are afraid of it and very hesitant about getting involved in AI, but
Mhm.
that's the wave of the future. Just like .com. Remember when .com first came out? Everyone
Yeah.
started, freaking out. So now
Mhm.
it's AI. So once all those kinks get worked out about AI, they're basically telling us that if you don't incorporate AI in some part of your business, it will not survive.
Mhm. Yeah, I know when AI came out, I at first I was like, AI, like what is this? But I knew being an entrepreneur, business owner, it was something like, okay, you don't know what it is, and you may not know what to do or how to do it, but you getting ready to figure it out because you getting ready to take somebody's training course, class, or something and figure out how this is gonna work because I knew in my mind I didn't want to be left behind or find out about it later on and then be trying to catch up. So I was like, no, we're gonna figure this out and get in on it and get ahead of it. So I honestly look at AI as a team member because my team right now. It's just me. So AI, Chat GPT has been very instrumental and very helpful for me as a small business owner and as an entrepreneur.
Hmm.
So I do know some people are like, no, I don't want to do AI or I don't want to, do anything with it. I'm like,
Hmm.
but you should. Like you really should. And even if you don't want to manage it or maintain it yourself, at least do it, learn it, understand it so that you can at least hire someone to do it for you, but at least you know how it's done or what's expected versus not doing anything with it at all and then
Yeah.
try to hire someone to do it. Like Do you know if they're doing it right or not, or are they doing what you're expecting them to do? Because you may or may not know because you never done it.
Right. And not only that, when it comes to AI and using Chat GPT, any type of GPT
Mhm.
AI services, you have to be very careful because you don't want your personal information out there. And a
Right.
lot of people, when you chat GPT and searching online and using that tool, AI tool, you got to
Mhm.
make sure none of your personal information, when you send that prompt out there, when you're prompting, make sure none of your personal information is in that prompt.
Okay. Like no
Yeah.
personal.
Yeah, like your address or company names or yeah, all that's being generated into a database somewhere.
Oh, so it's being like housed, like it's not going
Right,
in and like
right. It
being
becomes
thrown out.
access. Yeah, it becomes access.
So that's stored information then that is
Correct.
keeping.
Right. It's
Oh,
it's
okay.
it's it's a trained machine. So
Mhm.
as you feed the machine more information, because a little girl told me one day, fairly recent, she said, "LaSharion," she said, "Chat GPT AI is dumb." I'm like, "Why do you say that?" She said, "Because it doesn't know anything until you tell it." I'm like, "Well, you got a point."
Yep,
But
that's
yes, once
true.
you feed that information into Chat GPT, yes,
Oh, wow.
it becomes an asset.
Okay. And you know what? I never thought about it that way until you just said it. So I'm glad you shared that piece of knowledge because they helped me be I haven't put any personal sensitive information in, but
Mhm.
that's just a reminder from me just to say like, hey, don't put nothing like that in Chat GPT because it's going to be stored
Right,
and saved in the system.
right,
Okay. Okay. I'm glad you said that because I got that mental note mental note of that, not to forget about that.
right.
Um, so you have so we talked about the hair serum and then the Himalayan, I always have trouble saying it. The
Mhm.
Himalayan bath soap.
That's it.
How did you guys come up with that product? How did you create that product? Did that also require a lot of research for that as
Yes,
well?
it was actually a request.
Oh,
One of
okay.
my customers said that she has a lot of swelling in her ankles when she
Mm,
get off work, and she wanted something that could help with that. So,
okay.
we created this because it is a bath. Um Salt in which and you can soak in it, and it's harmless. As I mentioned, nothing has chemicals. It has Epsom salt, Himalayan salt, and lavender, and that's what makes it smell so good. Let me see if you can see the lavender. Can you see that? That's what it
I
looks like,
can. I
and
can
it
see the
smells so good.
okay,
And
and
there's
you
the
can put that
Himalayan.
in your
Yeah,
bath
you just take a
water?
little Epsom salt and put it in. Yeah, put it, and it
Okay.
dissolves into the water. So
Oh,
once
okay.
it dissolves, it'll help with a lot of the inflammation. So yes, and that's just $7. So
Okay.
we try not to break people's bank. So but
Well, that's
yes.
look, that's nice of you, but but so that's $7, and then you have the,
Yeah, I have
body
the
butter. I
original
have my
hair
body
serum
butter.
and then the mango butter, which is good for eczema and psoriasis.
You know what? I don't have either one of them. I don't have eczema or psoriasis. I do have sensitive skin.
Did you
Um,
order I think you ordered the mango, right?
I did. Yep.
Yeah. Is it
This is the
smooth?
mango.
Is it smooth for you? Have you?
It is smooth. Look, you got me digging into my
Yeah.
into my mango butter now. It is smooth. I do like the uh-oh, because I be trying not to use because I'm like, I don't need a lot of it. But I try
Right.
not to use. So you see, I still have a lot because it
Right.
doesn't take
Hey, long as you're using it, and I tell my customers, I love to see before and after pictures. Even if you just text me or send me something in the chat.
okay.
Um, just send me before and after, send me comments, reviews, because that's what helps my business. I mean,
Mhm.
ordering is one thing. I can get orders, but
Yes.
I want, as I mentioned earlier, I'm cultural creator,
Mhm.
and I want it to be a lifestyle change for my
Yeah.
customers. I don't
Okay.
want them to just say, "Hey, I bought this." And a lot of times women have that uh, issue. They'll buy something and they start using it, and then they stop, because
Mhm.
I'm guilty of that too. I
Yeah.
use something and then I stop.
Mhm.
Once I see results. But if I can get feedback, reviews, and therefore I can share those on my website, and
Yes.
that helps me. That helps me more than anything, because
Yeah.
that's what drives my business.
Right. And that's true because a lot of people usually want to see results before they will make a purchase, or as you mentioned, just to actually use it and have like before, and this is what the results are since I've been using the product. So I'm gonna be sure to send you some results because I've been using your hair serum. So I'm
Mhm.
gonna be sure to take pictures because I don't think it's been a month yet, but I think I said I was gonna wait maybe like a couple of months just so I can um send you some information, but I feel like I've already know because I've been using your hair serum around my edges,
Yeah,
myself. So
that's
I
what it's
actually
good
like
for.
it.
Because I
Mhm.
had lost, and those pictures are on my either my website, or I had them on my website, or they're in my Instagram page. But I had lost all my edges, and as you can see, they're back.
Yes, they are. They
I
back.
mean, yeah. And a lot of my hair had thin from the relaxer anyway. It was so thin, but now it's it's done grew back, thank God.
Yeah, because I feel like that relaxer is it's damaging to your hair. I mean, and I mean may depend on the individual. I don't want to say that it happens to everyone, but for me, it was damaging to my hair, and it seemed like my hair grew much better and healthier once I wasn't putting any type of chemicals or
Right.
strain on my hair. So, so I was pleased with that because I was even thinking like, dang, I should have went natural a long time ago because I went natural before, but then I went back. But I was like, man, I should have went natural a long time ago. So, for Noir Radiance, so you have your three products. What's next? Like, what are you currently working on with
Well,
Norway?
since the holidays are coming up, my niece and I, we have scheduled an outing to a nursing home. When she was a baby, she was about 4 months old. I would visit nursing homes, because a lot of the underprivileged nursing homes in south of Dallas is where I grew up, south of Dallas.
Okay.
They don't, a lot of them, and I'm pretty sure it's like that all over the US, but a
Mhm.
lot of times they don't, the elderly doesn't get visits. So I would take her when she was 3 or 4 months old, and I would kind of share her with the elderly people in the retirement
Okay.
home, and they would love her and treat her like a doll. So I talked to her. She's 30 years old now, and I asked her,
Okay.
"How do you feel about it? Let's go back to the nursing home." I know those elderly people are not there, but the nursing home is still there. So I
Mhm.
wanted to take her back so she could see. So what I'm doing now, as far as my products, I'm working on creating sample kits. So, because I'm going to
Okay.
donate sample kits to the nursing home. That's my
Oh,
plan,
I
and that's
love
what I'm
it.
working on now.
Okay, I absolutely love it. So you're working on creating kits
Hmm.
um for you to donate to the nursing homes for the residents.
Right.
Okay, yeah, I absolutely love it because my husband, he used to work in nursing homes and he used to come home and tell me just different stories about, things that would happen in the nursing homes. But the residents absolutely loved him. Um, and he worked in as a floor technician and as housekeeping. But he always had conversations with them, make sure that
Hmm.
they were okay. Because as you just mentioned, he did say that um there were many residents there that didn't have family members to come and see them or anything like that. So, um, they would absolutely love that. I know they would absolutely love that. And
Mhm.
you creating the kits, because at first I thought you was gonna say, like, yeah, we're gonna go and do their hair. And I was like, oh, that's gonna be something like, but that could be
Yeah.
something down the line. But yeah, I'm sure they would absolutely love the kits that you guys create. So do you have an idea what you guys are gonna include in the kits or what the kit is gonna
Yes,
look like?
actually, I'm making a sample of the Himalayan soap, and
Okay.
then I'm making a sample of the Hergo serum, and then I'm going to give a small sample of the mango butter,
Okay.
and also there's one more thing. Oh, soap. I actually can create sample soaps.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I also, as I mentioned, I'm very creative, and I've made these turmeric bars of soap, these mini bars of soap. So I'm gonna make
Oh,
some of
okay.
those and put it in a package for them. Just put them in a satin package, put it in a
Mm-hmm.
satin bag, and just make so many of them and just give them out for the holidays. Go like
Okay.
right before Christmas, and it'll be a Christmas gift. And then my niece can walk around and tour because it's been 30 years since, well, 29 years since she's been there. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow. Oh, wow. That is gonna be so neat. I'm sure she'll be excited, to go back and visit the nursing home that she hadn't been to in, like, 29 years. So she was 1, 2, 1
she
year
was
old?
4 months. She was four
Oh,
months.
she wasn't even 1 yet. She was 4 months.
Hmm.
Okay. Oh, that is
Hmm.
so awesome. So, yeah, that is great for you to create, sample bags for residents in the nursing home with your products for
Hmm.
them to be able to use your products. So, what's a short-term goal that you have that you are working towards?
Short term, create an exit plan.
I'm not mad at you about that. Hey, I agree. It's like, listen, I'm working on retiring, and you
Yeah,
should. Mhm.
yeah. But no,
You
short
should.
term, probably mainly is to get more organized. I
Mhm.
think once I phase out of my full time job, I'm just trying to organize a little better, getting my calendar set up that I've been working on for a few weeks now.
Mhm.
Um, Also going through and uh, filling inventory, making sure I restock things for the holidays.
Mhm.
Those are pretty much right now what I have going on in short term.
Okay. So, what's your long-term goal?
My long term goal is getting building customers,
Okay.
building a platform of customers that are not just customers. I want to build a community.
Yeah.
Long term, I would say my main goal, as I mentioned, as being, I consider myself a culture curator because what I do and how I help women is not just about products. It's
Mhm.
about embracing your natural beauty. And that's overall that branches into a lot of things. I mean, not
Mhm.
just natural hair, natural beauty, the way mentally, how you think about yourself,
Mhm.
just that support, you know,
Right.
yeah, just having that support and network of women where we can, you know, collaborate and
Yeah.
support one another. So it's a little bit more deep than just selling products.
Right, right. And that is so true. Because I know it's easy to, as an entrepreneur, small business owner, I know it's easy to get caught up in the I want to sell this, I want to sell my products. But at the same time, we have to build that community, that following, and your customers are gonna come, like, you have a customer base, but you're also trying to build that of course, you still wanna build your customer base, but you're also now
Right.
wanting to build that community as well, in addition to your customer base. So you have your
Right.
customers and you want your customers to be part of that community. And
Right.
then that's gonna grow because I think you said you have a lot of customers, or you have quite a few customers that are in on the East Coast, I believe you said. Is it the
Hmm.
East Coast that your
East Coast.
customers?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Because
And
I
the
remember us talking
mindset,
about that.
yeah, and the mindset is different on the East Coast compared to the West Coast and Central, because it
Hmm.
seems like the women on the East Coast, and this is something that I just observed, but it
Okay.
seems like the women on the East Coast, my friends that I talk to and communicate with,
Hmm.
they embrace natural beauty a whole lot faster. I won't say we don't here, but a whole
Right.
lot faster. And I had my previous hairstylist would say, "I'm going to Washington D.C. because the women there are so friendly." So, but no, we have our women here too that are extremely nice as well. But
Yeah.
I get that warm feeling from East Coast
Okay.
a lot more than what I get here in
Okay.
Central. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna pray on it. It's gonna change. People gonna be flooding Noir Radiance, getting those products, those beauty products.
Yeah.
Um, so now let's talk a little bit about faith, spirituality
Mhm.
in our business and in our personal life, because we just can't have it in our personal and not in our business, or just have it in our business and not in our personal. I
Right.
feel that we need to have it in both.
Right.
So how has that um, been helping you during your entrepreneurial journey?
Well, I will say this, and it's good that you brought up faith and religion. And I won't
Hmm.
say religion because religion is just a practice that man has created.
Correct.
So that's something that I try to steer away from. But
Hmm.
one thing I do, and I also have, church. My church has supported me as well. I got a
Okay.
lot of customers at my church. They know what I do. Um, I know that I not only practice my faith, I also incorporate it into my business by when I study the Word of God. It's so much pertaining to beauty, natural beauty, and faith. Having
Hmm.
those as a concrete foundation is something that God wants us to have. So I
Hmm.
try to incorporate it often as possible because that's an open book. That's an open page for me to interject and get to know someone because although I have customers, I also let them know that I pray for them, whatever uh, thing that they're maybe going through or issues they may have with their body.
Hmm.
I pray for them as well because that's important to me. And when they
Yeah.
share something like that, and it could be personal, I take it upon myself to take it personal and pray for them. So that's
Hmm.
how I incorporate God's business in my business. So
Okay.
that's something that I have done for years. And I'm a part of, and I don't know if you heard, and it's one of my priorities as well, but um, Southern I always say it wrong. Bible study fellowship. It's a
Okay.
worldwide Bible study, and it's all over the world. And
Okay.
Bible study fellowship (BSF) is what they call it. And what they do is you have a Bible study. My meeting is on Fridays, so
Okay.
I attend. Oh, my phone is about to die. Uh, hold on, let me plug
Okay,
this in.
sure. I had told my husband, I was like, I need to charge my phone because I'm going live this evening and I need to charge my phone, or I just have my charger close by like you did. Like if I need
Yeah.
to plug it in. I can do that real quick.
So yes, I mean I can go on and on because I try my best, and that's the number one priority for me is to keep God first, even no matter
Mhm.
what I'm doing, no matter what, business endeavor I have for years, even on my 9 to 5. They tell us you're not supposed to pray uh, at work on the job. You're not supposed to pray, and you can't incorporate God into the office. But I've done it anyway because my attitude when it comes to God is stop me,
Right, it's like
stop me if you can.
right, it's like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna continue on." It's like, I don't yeah, I agree with you. It's like, yeah, that for me would go in one ear and out the other because it's like, you're not gonna tell me, like, I can't I can't praise God, I can't pray. Okay. I'm not that's not even up for debate for me because I incorporate it in both my personal and business life as well. Like I'm constantly I pray all day, every day. I wake up reading the scripture. I go to bed reading the scripture. And in between that, throughout my day, I'm constantly praying. Just about just everything from my need to get me through
Hmm.
my get me through my work day to, my business to help me with, growing my business, to stay consistent with my business, to help my clients, to be of service to my clients because I'm like, I started my business to help others. I didn't start it just solely for me to be
Hmm.
selfish. I started my business to help other people to be successful.
Right.
So, yeah, I believe that that's a huge part of our everyday lives, as we mentioned, both personal and business. So that's something that I'm very passionate about as well. So so yeah. I like that. And I like the fact that you say you pray for your customers. So that's something that I pray that we all do, that we all start doing. I of course I do it for my clients, like praying that they have successful businesses and that I do my part in helping them to be successful
Hmm.
as well. Because as I said, it's not about me. I just want to be able to do what I need to do to be of service and benefit my customers, my
Hmm.
clients, to make sure that they get what they're looking for and working for out of their business.
Hmm.
Okay. So, your hair products, well, not even just your hair products, because as we mentioned, I'm just for other people that may be joining in between. You have your hair serum, your bath, is it bath soak, Himalayan
Hmm.
bath soak?
Yes, soak,
Okay.
SOAK. Hmm.
Okay, your Himalayan bath soak, and then you have your mango body butter cream.
Hmm.
So your
And then
hair
I
grows.
have uh, the scalp and hair leave-in oil. It's
Okay.
it's a lot. It's a lot thinner. I don't know if you can see that from
Yes,
there,
I
but
can
it's
see
a
it.
lot thinner. And
Okay.
yeah, that's something that the vitamin leave-in is another good great product that I sell.
Okay. Okay, and your products, they're not just for us, for people of color or Latinos,
Cool.
because I think you mentioned it's for Latinos, but it's for all anyone, any
Yes.
nationality can use your
Yeah.
product.
Now
Okay.
with my Latino customers, the herbal serum is the consistency is a little too thick. So
Okay.
they're mainly because all of our skin is pretty much the same. I mean, it may look different, and the skin pigmentation may be different, but a
Mhm.
lot of times, even with some of my Latino friends, they have dry skin. So they
Okay.
use the mango body butter for
Okay.
that. Yes. So
Okay.
they wouldn't buy the hair serum, but they would buy the mango butter and then the Himalayan soap.
Okay.
So
And you
yeah.
said the hair serum, they say it's too thick for their
Mm,
hair?
right, because their hair is easy weighted down.
Oh,
Easily, it's
gotcha.
easily weighted down. It would be too
Okay.
heavy. Our hair
Okay.
is more coarse, but
Okay.
their hair is not as coarse, so it can easily be weighted down.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So if they use the oil,
So
it'll just
I
be too
recommend
heavy.
them not to use the serum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's good that you do that because I've I've purchased products. So as I mentioned earlier, I have sensitive skin. And I've tried like your body butter works great. And that's what made me go with the mango because I knew it was natural. But if it's anything that has like fragrance in it
Hmm.
or anything like that, it'll break me out like immediately. So
Mm.
I used to try the fragrance oil, like a perfume. I guess
Hmm.
if I'm explaining right, I would try something like that. And it would just break me out like
Mm.
immediately. I'll just put a little bit on my wrist in a small spot just to see how it does because I've tried different types of scented oil. So then I tried it was a oil and the person that was selling it, she was telling me that it was hypoallergenic. So usually when you hear someone say hypoallergenic, you think like, oh, okay, it's for someone with sensitive skin. It won't break me out or anything like that.
Hmm.
And I was explaining to them like, hey, I have sensitive skin. If it has any
Hmm.
type of fragrance or anything in it, I cannot use it. It's gonna break
Hmm.
me out. No, it's hypoallergenic. It's good for sensitive skin and so forth. So I purchased it. I purchased it just to
Hmm.
see how it would do, and it broke me out. And I was like, now, why would you sell me something when I specifically told you if it has a fragrance or any type of scent in it that's not natural? Let me say that. If it's not natural, if it has any type of fragrance in it, that it will break me out. So for me to hear you say that with your Latino customer base, you know that your oil is heavy on their hair. So you let them know, like, hey,
Oh
this
yeah.
may not be a good product for you because it's likely gonna weigh your hair down. Like
Right.
you being
Correct.
upfront with them and letting them know that versus you knowing that it's gonna be heavy and you sell it to them anyway, just so
Hmm.
you can make a sale. That I really like that because I'm like, let me know
Right.
if it's something that I'm telling you that I can't use, and I may not be able to use it, but I can refer someone to you if it's a good product
Right.
or something like that. But needless to say, I didn't refer that business because
Right. And that's one of my daughters and our top priorities is to maintain integrity. And
Mhm,
I tell people all
exactly.
the time, I tell them all the time, and this is one of my phrases that I always say. I'm not chasing currency because when you start chasing currency, you get into some funny business, and
Mhm.
that's not me because that's not my daughter and I. Our
Correct.
our main goal is to maintain our integrity, to treat everyone fair, and be there to help them and be honest about everything.
Mhm.
That's why, as far as making sure our products are clean from chemicals, we wash hand wash every container. When those bottles and jars come through the mail, we are washing. We go to the kitchen, we wash them up, we dry them, make sure they're all clean, and then we pour the organic products into the containers.
Okay.
So we're not chasing currency. And I tell people that because we enjoy what we do, we love what we do,
Mhm.
and I love helping people. As you probably know now, going back to the nursing home to help people in the nursing home, that's from my heart. That's something that
Mhm.
I've done for years. So
Mhm.
it's easy for me to be honest with people because
Yeah.
it comes natural.
Right. Right. We don't have time to be lying and remembering what you said, who you told it to, when you said it, how you said what you
Right.
said, how you said, no, we don't have time for that. So, but yeah, I absolutely love that you even mentioned that, like, if it's something that's not that that's not gonna work for someone because of your experience and the customers that you come across, you pretty much know
Right,
what will work, what wouldn't work, and can recommend the product for them to
right,
use versus them just selling them something for the sake of getting a
right,
sale.
right. Because long term, and as you, when you go through the website of our online website, you'll see long term. One of my long term goals is to create. My daughter and I would like to create more products and be able to serve more different nationalities. I mean, we
Mhm,
strive to move not only into the Black culture, Black community, but also in other Native Americans, Latinos, uh, Puerto Ricans. I mean, just anyone. We want to be able to serve and help anyone,
mhm,
anyone of color.
right. Well, that is awesome because, like I said, I actually love your products because I'm currently using the mango body butter
Hmm.
and the hair growth serum. And your website, the website to Noir Radiance is noirradiance.com.
That is
And that's
correct.
Noir radiance.com. And once
Hmm.
I edit the video, I'll have your website
Okay.
on the video as well. Um the and when did you say that you plan on doing the nursing home thing? Is that before
Right before
Christmas?
the week before Christmas.
Okay. Okay. So the week before Christmas. Now, are you planning to do, is it one specific nursing home that you're going to be
Yes, we're going back
visiting?
to the one where I grew up and the one I took her to.
Okay.
Cause
Okay. And that's
it's
in
still there.
okay. And what part of Texas are you in?
Dallas.
Okay. So you're in Dallas, Texas. So it's the nursing home in Dallas,
Right.
Texas
Right.
that you'll be providing
Right.
the I'm going to say care package, but I guess we could call it a care package.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, we
Yeah.
could
You
call
got
it
to
a
get
care
one.
package. Yeah, I absolutely love it. So, Noor Radiance is working on, I'm going to say, a project to provide care packages to a nursing home. And what are the products that you're going to include in your care
We're going to create
packages?
samples of the hair growth serum, and then also I'm going to provide a small um, jar of the Himalayan soak. And then I'm gonna also put in there the soap, as I mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
SOAP. Yeah. I hadn't decided yet if I'm going to do the turmeric soap
Okay.
or I may just do a regular soap base because a lot of times as you get older, your skin gets more sensitive. So, and
Mm-hmm.
since it's the winter time, I'll probably add some I mean, a lip balm as well, something that can use on
Oh,
their lips for dry skin. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that would be
So
nice. Yeah, that would be nice.
I'm trying to use products that I feel like will be beneficial to them
Mm-hmm.
and pertaining to their specific lifestyle.
Right, right, exactly. Which I believe, like you said, they as you get older, your skin tends to get drier, so
And more
you're
sensitive.
more sensitive. So your
Right,
body butter would be great for that, for them to use. And then, like I said, the consistency of it, you don't need a whole lot of
right,
the body butter because I just put a little bit on my fingertips, and that
right,
went a long way for me to put it completely over my hand
right.
and
That's
on
what
the
a
top
friend of
part.
mine, yeah, she tells me that all the time.
It did. That's why I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have this for a long time because a little bit
Goes
goes
a
a
long
long
way.
way."
Yeah, sure does.
It does. And this is the mango body butter that I'm showing. This is my own personal look. I'm like, this is my own personal product, which I absolutely love. And then I also have her hair growth serum. Now I have the original, I'm calling it the original because you have the hair growth
Right.
serum and you have the one for the um
Thin
fine
hair. Yeah, fine
thin
hair.
hair.
Uh-huh.
And then this is her serum. And it's pretty thick. It has a good consistency because I only use like I think I did maybe like 2 to 3 drops
Mhm.
on my fingertips, and I did what I said. She told me just put a few drops on my fingertips, and I rubbed it together, and then I just rub it around my
Your
edge.
edges, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, just keep that up and do it as often, and you'll see. Because my daughter's friend, because my daughter's in Atlanta now, so her friend there, because now we're branching to Atlanta. Women in Atlanta are getting excited about it.
Okay,
So
that
her
is
friend there,
awesome.
she has locks, and she called me one day. She FaceTimed me. Look at my edges. My edges look so good. They're coming back. I'm so excited. So yeah, but
Yeah, I
it's
actually love
good.
it.
That's my reward. It's so rewarding when my customers show me results and they, and
Mhm.
they tell me, "Hey, this is look, this is what it's doing." So that's a reward because my daughter and I we spend so much time formulating these products. It's not
Yeah.
something what we said. Oh, I'm just going to pour this in a bottle and sell it and can it. No, we didn't do
Mhm.
that. We did not do
Mhm. Yeah, because as I had mentioned early on in our conversation, that I didn't realize what was all what was all involved in creating a hair care product and the research that's involved. So that just goes to show how passionate you are about it because you're doing the research, you're tweaking it, you're changing it as needed to make sure that it's providing the benefit that you're expecting your customers to have when they use your product, whether they have thinning edges, fine hair, or just want to have certain areas to grow back that may be thinning or that they may feel isn't growing like it should.
that.
Because like I said, I'm focused on my edges as well. So because now you have me, I'm gonna go back and find pictures of me prior to me using your product.
Mhm.
And then um
Yeah, Trevor's
after
pictures. Yeah.
me using your
Yeah,
product, because
using
I'm
that
showing my
bottle, yeah,
hair.
because it takes consistency. You can't just start and then stop. You got to
Yeah,
use it. It takes consistency and it takes longevity because you
right.
got to consistently use it. You got to keep it up and you got to massage those edges, massage them so you can wake up those cuticles again. Because
Mhm.
a lot of times when you pull your hair out from the braids and the cu- um, cute. Um, now you got me thinking. The the scalp itself, those they close up because the hair is not
Okay.
there. So you have to kind of rub and stimulate that area again around the edges, and then
Yeah,
put a little oil on there. Put the oil on there, the serum, and just keep doing it and routinely do it. And
yeah.
eventually, you're gonna see growth. You're gonna see new growth because you got to wake it back up. That's what I
Right.
tell people. Yeah.
Yeah, I use your hair serum um in the morning, and then I said I was probably gonna start, like, putting a little bit on at night before
Mhm.
I go to bed, but I definitely use it in the morning. And I was telling a girlfriend about your hair serum as well, and she was like, "Girl, I done used so much hair serum. I done tried this kind," and she said at this point, she just got frustrated.
Mhm.
So, I didn't press the issue about her getting getting your hair serum, but
Mhm.
I did ask her, um, I said, "Well, how long?" Because she was saying that it didn't work. And I said, "Well, how long had you been using them?" I said, "Did you like use them for like a week and then you stopped?" And she said she did. She said she wasn't consistent
Mhm. It's a
with
long
it.
term thing. And that's what I tell people, and I'm a walking testimony as well, because it took a minute for my scalp, as I just mentioned, to wake those cuticle. It's not cuticles, but it's
Is it the hair follicles?
follicles, yeah, follicles. To
Okay.
wake up those follicles, you have to massage it and keep putting the oil on there. And it takes a while. And eventually, a lot of times when people see new growth, it's like, oh, it's growing. And then they stop. You got to keep at
Mm,
it because my hair, and I think I'm pretty sure I have. You go to my Instagram page, you will see when my hair was so thin, I had braids and you could see my scalp with so much scalp in between my braids. That's from that relaxer had damaged my
Mhm.
hair follicles, and I had to. It took about 6 months, to be honest with you, but I had to be
Okay.
consistent. But once you wake those back up, and once you get those follicles open, and that hair start growing back in, I guarantee you, it's going to continue to grow. And
Okay.
that's my experience. That's not just me telling you for you to buy my
Right.
product. That I wouldn't do that.
'Cause I'm definitely looking forward to, because I feel like, and I don't know, it's just me or me just getting excited because I'm like, "Ooh, I think my edges." I'm like, "Ooh, I think my edges are growing back." But yes, I've been staying on it to use it, because you actually had to remind me, because you was like, "Did you use your hair serum yet?" And I was like, I took it and stuck it in my cabinet and forgot about it. I was using your body butter, but
Hmm.
I had forgot that I had ordered the hair serum, and I was like, "Let me go get this hair serum out my closet and put it in my bathroom," because
Yeah,
when I see that in the morning, I'll know when I take my deodorant out, I grab my hair serum as well for me to remember to put it on my edges. So
you can't beat it.
no, you cannot,
I
because
mean,
I'm
there are
actually,
women, yeah, because there is women that's told me they have spent $75 on a bottle like that, and it doesn't work.
yeah, and I think that may have happened to my girlfriend where she got to the point where she was like, "I done bought so many hair serums and they didn't work." But also, she did say that she wasn't consistent on using it. So it could have been a little bit of both, or maybe it didn't work, or maybe it was just her not using it as regularly as she should. Um, I'm actually on your website now as we're speaking, and you do have some before and after pictures from 3 to 6 months on here. Now, I do see pictures of someone. It looks like they may have been using it on their legs, and it's showing how their leg has cleared up on there, because it goes from 1 month to 3 months. And I'm thinking that might have been their, may have been using your body butter. I'm guessing it had to be your body butter that they were
Uh,
using on your website, because it looks like it's someone's leg. It's a leg, but it shows how it looked before, and then in 3 months, it's like cleared up.
right. And my pastor's wife, she went through chemo. She lost all her hair, and
Okay,
that's the one on my Instagram page where you see her with a little dog, and she's hugging a dog, and she has that like turban on her head, like a turban on her head. It's
you
in
know
one of
what?
the pictures on my Instagram page, and she lost all her hair, and her hair now is looks like mine. And
Oh wow,
this took a year, and it
really?
took a
That's
year.
good though. In a
Yeah,
year,
yeah.
that is good. Yeah, because I went to your website, but you have other pictures that's on your Instagram page.
Hmm.
Okay. And your Instagram is it Noir Radiance? I can't remember if you have an
Right,
underscore.
right. Noah underscore radiance.
Okay. Noir
But you
underscore
can
Radiance.
do, yeah, but you can do no radiance and it'll come up.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. 'Cause I know, just for me looking at the pictures, I was like, wow, these products really, really work, because you have another lady that's on your website, and it's showing her progress from 1 month all the way up to 6 months.
Mhm.
To 6 months, and that's amazing to see how her hair
Yeah,
transitioned
and
from
just
first
let your
month.
friends direct them to my site and let them know, hey, this is a product that works. And
Yes,
word of mouth works a whole lot better than any advertisement,
it does.
because you can give that personal touch to a person and
Mhm.
give them that hope. Because a lot of times, that's another thing that my daughter and I said, we want to give our customers hope,
Yes.
knowing that these products are going to work and they do work.
Mhm.
And all you need to do is give it a chance and stay committed and dedicated to your
Mhm.
beauty, because this is what God has given us. God didn't
Right.
expect for our hair
to thin out and us using all these chemicals. We have to learn to nurture our own natural body. And
Mm-hmm.
times, a lot of times we don't do that.
Right, right. No, we don't. Not until it's falling apart. Then we rush in trying to figure out what we need to do when it's something that we should have been should have been doing a
Right,
while ago. And it's like, okay, don't panic now, but
right.
you can get it back together. But you're so right. We do. We need to take care of our bodies. We need to take care of ourselves. And I always look more for natural products because I think it's more so because of me having a sensitive skin. I just try to steer away from anything that has I guess I want to say like artificial. I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for, but um anything that I guess I want to say anything that's not natural. I try to steer away from when it comes to
Mhm.
putting anything on my body because now I'm thinking like since I've gotten older, I'm like, okay, whatever I'm putting on my body, it's getting into my pores because I'm rubbing it in. So I just try to be conscious of what it is that I'm using on my body. But your products have been working absolutely amazing. And I'm just crazy about this body butter. I keep my body butter in my office. just so just so my husband and nobody can get a hold of it. Like this is
So
my
what
product.
I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
So what actually do you do during the daytime?
What do I do during the day?
9 to 5.
I am a business analyst.
Mhm.
Um, I'm working on a computer where I'm sitting at my desk all day looking at spreadsheets
Oh, okay.
all day. I manage to make sure that providers, physicians get paid correctly, pretty much
Okay.
is what I'm doing. Yeah. And as I said, I love my job. It's serving its purpose. It's helping me with my lifestyle. It's helping me to maintain my business. But I am working on an exit plan so that
Mhm.
I can be able to leave my full-time 9 to 5 and be able to manage and work my business full time. So that's my long-term goal, which I really want to make it a short term, but whenever God tell me like, okay, it's time for you to go, that's when I'm gonna bow out gracefully. But in the meantime, I'm preparing myself so that I can, make that exit.
Right.
That's my goal. Because I don't I'm one of those people like, okay, doing both of these, it's okay, but yeah, it can be a little bit exhausting and mentally draining. But I want to be able to travel and I want to be able to like you said, I want to be able to focus more on my business because I have a lot of other ideas that I would like to do. But I'm just limited on with me working full time on what I can do. So I try to either do it after work or try to implement some of those things on the weekend when I'm able to get out and get around.
Yeah.
So
I have enjoyed this
me
meeting.
too. I have too. I really, and we definitely will have to do this again. So in closing, for someone that's either working a 9 to 5 and thinking about starting their own business, or someone that's just wanting to start their own business. They may be in between jobs or maybe working part-time and trying to think of like, what can I do next to help me out or my family out? What advice would you give someone that's um, wanting to take that entrepreneurial leap and they're not quite sure if they should or if it's the right time?
Well, the main thing is praying, meditation, research, create an action plan, and hit the go button.
Yes,
Because once you start, it's hard to stop. And once you see your little baby developing, whatever that, um, whatever that idea you may have, or whatever business endeavor that you say, maybe this is my calling, maybe this is something God wants me to do. Because if it's not a selfish act, I feel that it can succeed. If
Mhm.
if you're helping people and you're not harming society, I think God will give you that foundation and give you that vision to where you will be successful. So
Mhm.
keep going, keep going, keep going.
I love it. I love it. That's what I always say. I'm like, just do it.
Yeah,
Just do it. Don't second guess, or because then you'll talk yourself out of it, or someone else is going to talk you out of it, or help you talk yourself out of it. So it's like, just go for it and do it. It's not going to be perfect. It's not
right,
going to be easy, but it's not like super hard either. It's like we had to learn to do a lot of things. We had to learn how to walk. We probably thought that was hard, but we figured it out.
right.
We
That's
we
right,
figured it out. So it's like, just have faith and believe in yourself that you can do it, and it'll be
right.
done, and pray about it. God's
A-
not gonna give you that vision or that passion and not provide you with the tools and resources for you to be successful. We just have to do our
Amen,
part.
amen,
We just
amen. That
have to
is
do
so
our
true.
part.
So
And
yeah, well, thank you for giving me this opportunity.
oh, you're
I hope and
welcome.
pray that I get some type of exposure where people will reach out because Mamapreneur was my first opportunity on a podcast. I'll never forget Robin. I love her so much because
Yes.
she had the faith in me that I didn't have. So her working with me and giving me my first opportunity for exposure really means
Mhm.
a lot. And now you are also giving me that opportunity to tell someone, tell the world about my business and what I'm doing.
Yes.
So that means a lot to me. And I want to say thank you, Trina,
Oh, you're
because you're
welcome.
doing a great thing. And
Thank
so many
you.
women out there need you, need your support, need your prayers, because it's harder for us to get in that limelight. It takes a
Mhm.
while to build a business.
It
Even being an
does.
entrepreneur, it's not easy, but people like you and Robin, y'all make it happen. Y'all help us make it happen. And that support is priceless because I know that you guys are doing this out of the love that you have for other women because you do this and it's not like you're requesting money. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And
Yes.
I admire that. But hopefully and prayerfully that reciprocates back to you for your own personal uh, time that you spent with helping other women. I think that's great, and God is going to honor that.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I believe that your business is going to take off, and we're going to get more and more people to be aware of Noir Radiance. So again, I have been chatting with Noir Radiance. Her website is noirradiance.com. And I will be including the link in the video. Once I go back and edit it, you guys will get all that information on there. And LaSharion, thank you so, so much for joining me. And I look forward to us doing this again.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you
Okay.
so much, and you
You're
have a good one.
welcome. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.
Bye bye.
All right. Bye bye. Thank you guys for joining. And until next time, mind your business. And I will talk to you soon. See ya.